Yeah.
Hey, good morning and welcome to ShortSalePowerHour.com. I'm your host, Kevin Kaufman. I'm with Group 4610, Arizona's premier short sale team. You know my business partner, Fred Weaver. He's behind the camera today playing producer. The gentleman to my left and on your right requires absolutely no introduction. He's the only cowboy hat wearing, short sale closing guy I know in the entire state of Texas. Knolly Williams. Knolly, how you doing today?
Good to meet you. Hey, not good to meet you. I know you. Good to meet y'all out there.
He actually, the funny thing about Knolly is he actually means that. And from the bottom of his heart, he actually means that. I know Knolly well enough to know that that's true. Hey, so we're here. We're in Austin, Texas today. We just wrapped up 2 days
Best
straight.
city in the world.
It's the best city. You haven't been to San Diego yet, have
Oh, San Diego's wonderful.
you? I'm going to take
Are y'all
you
moving
and
to San
Josie.
Diego?
I'm working
I heard a
on it.
rumor about it.
Ask my wife. She's watching right now.
Is he moving to San Diego?
Okay.
All right, go back to the topic.
So, we've been here for the last 2 days here in Austin at the Hilton downtown talking around our real estate business.
Yeah.
We've had the opportunities to spend time with the top 100, 150 producers in our entire company and Gary Keller.
Out of
talking about real
80,000
estate.
people. Yeah.
So that's some pretty good company, right?
Significant.
Good people to be around and brands to big.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And yesterday, Gary actually put together a special mastermind for us before the general session, if you will, kicked off. It was all about short sales.
Absolutely.
And we invited in a representative from Fannie Mae, one from Citi, one from Bank of America, and one from
Wells.
Fargo. Thank you.
Yeah.
And so today we just want to kind of give a little wrap up, if you will, to the viewer of Short Sale Power. What are some takeaways that you got from that, Knolly? And I'll share some as well. But what's the one or two things that you really got out of yesterday, whether it's from one of those reps or maybe from what Gary talked about afterwards, or just some of the questions that were brought up?
I'll tell you a big thing, and before we get to that, I want to acknowledge Brian Ellington too, because Brian Ellington, who's our the CPO, Chief Products Officer for Keller Williams International, you guys pioneered the concept of a short sale mastermind. And brought that to Brian Ellington, and he acted on it.
Yeah, Brian, and he had Minnie Hagar worked on it.
Yeah.
Roger worked on it. Roger
Hill,
the whole bunch of people behind the scenes. I don't even think we could begin to name.
Oh, it was wonderful. It was wonderful. We really appreciate it. And the one takeaway that I got, first of all, the bank showed up, because we got to admit that when we went to them with that idea, and you guys kind of came up with that concept. I sort of didn't think they would really want to show their faces, or that they really cared enough about this issue to fly out here and be on a panel.
Yeah,
they weren't paid to do it.
This is true.
And so here's the one takeaway that I got from it. They cared enough to come out here and do that kind of panel, and at least share with us that they care, or at least give us the perception that they care.
Okay.
I hope that's a reality. It doesn't feel like it is when you call into the bank and talking to the processors that they're over, because these were VPs of short sale departments.
Well, these are one of the ahas I had. I don't really say an aha, but more of it was a re-getting an aha I previously had, which is the people that we had here yesterday, and what they see happening and what they want to happen and what's happening on the ground floor in that battlefield that we talk about.
Yeah.
Totally different things, right?
Absolutely.
It's a viewpoint,
Absolutely.
two different viewpoints. It's like my hand, you got one viewpoint on my hand, I got another right now. And that's the same way with the people that we had in our panel. Not that they're bad people, not that the institutions are bad themselves. It's just, unfortunately, that's what we're dealing with, right?
Well, we are dealing with that, and they seem to get it. They seem to understand. They didn't seem to diminish or devalue what we were telling them were the issues that we struggle with. They admitted those issues, and a lot of it's just lack of communication. We talked about lost paperwork,
lack of systems,
lack of good systems.
Well, and something that I always talk about in our class, and if you've been to our class, is that your system has to be good enough to overcome the bank's lack of a system.
Right.
It has to be good enough to overcome your seller being in a really strange place in their life and being scattered, if you will. It has to be good enough to overcome the buyer's agent's inability to close a transaction, things like that. Your system has to be good enough, and so that was something that rang clear to me yesterday. They also made it abundantly clear, I thought, some of those panelists, that hey, they're aware of their staffing situation, and that sometimes bad decisions are made, and it's up to us to escalate. In fact, what I heard ring clear
right.
yesterday from not just the 3 servicers but the investor was, when something's wrong, come to me or come to somebody of higher authority than what you're currently dealing with. So that was definitely a big lesson I picked up on yesterday.
Absolutely.
And it was great. And I know that's you've taught on that for years. You've practiced that for years, and you've had to go around and do it. So I thought for me it was definitely good to hear that stuff over again.
And it looks like, I think we're running short on time, but one other point I wanted to bring out was talking about staffing. I think Wells said that they doubled their staff in the last few months.
Bank of America.
Was it B of A? Okay.
Wells has definitely staffed up as well, though. But
Man, they went from 1,500 to 3,000, something like that.
Matt Vernon, who was the head of short sales and REOs, 1,400 is when he announced in February, or excuse me, maybe it's more like March or April. But as of last month, they were already to 2,900. 2,900. And he announced back in April in Phoenix, hey, we're going to double the staff, and they've probably got it right now, to be honest.
Well, and how do you train 1,500 fresh new loss mitigators when you and I have been doing this 5, 6, 7 years?
Yeah, you actually don't. You don't really train them that
You
quickly,
really don't. You can't train them that fast.
So the lesson in that to me, and tell me if your lesson's different, is you've got to be good enough to get through that.
Absolutely.
You have to.
Absolutely.
You've got to work. Sometimes you have to work around that.
Yeah.
Sometimes you have to work over that. Sometimes you have to work through that.
Yeah.
But the point is you've got to be good enough, and it's all different solutions. And you know, that's something that
I wish I didn't have to bring my bag of magic tricks to every transaction.
Yeah,
I really do.
But if you didn't have to bring that bag of magic tricks, you wouldn't be Knolly Williams.
Well,
right?
I guess you're right. You're right. And you have to, and it really speaks back to us that we have to have that skill level, which is what you're saying.
Absolutely. And so, agents, I'm talking to you right now. Up your game. It's up to you. Here's the deal. Here's what I really got. And there were some really interesting moments. And if you catch me in person, ask me about this, where there was some definite tension between the Fannie Mae rep and the servicers.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you know what?
Did you see a little bit of a gap there?
Oh, a little bit. It was like 2.5 body lengths. The servicers were practically on top of each other's laps. You have got to you've got to be able to the one to overcome that. Yeah. You're going to be the one to bring the solutions. You don't want them to bring the solutions all the way.
Right.
You know what? Because if they do, you're going to be out of a job. And so, as an outback thinker, as somebody who's been to training and closed lots of deals, you've got to up your game, up your leadership, and do what it takes to get those deals done and get your clients represented the way you promised them you would when you signed the listing.
Absolutely.
That's definitely the biggest thing I picked up.
Hey, I just have one last question, Knolly. I think some of our viewers at home, myself, I'm wondering, do you keep that bag of tricks? Is it like under your cowboy hat right now? Is that where you keep that?
Bag of tricks
or
is in my, it's in my bag.
Oh, it's in your bag? Okay.
It's literally in my bag.
Okay, I got it, man. I was just curious.
Absolutely.
All right, guys.
Do you remember how this ending goes?
Yeah.
I mean, you were our first guest.
With this guy,
you were our first guest.
I taught y'all this one, man. I'm a musical talent here.
I'm tasking you right now with writing us a rap, okay? By family reunion next time you're on the show. All right, guys. So we're gonna wrap this up like we always do. 1, 2, 3.
Short sale power hour. Short sale power hour.
Crush it.